Coming up, Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers are holding relief distributions in various provinces. We take a look at how China Tzu Chi volunteers have supported the needy in Guizhou Province over the past 14 years. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. First up in Vietnam, Tzu Chi volunteers traveled to Da Nang Province to hold another aid distribution. This year, most residents had poor harvests. Thus, Tzu Chi volunteers brought them daily necessities, hoping to help the residents enjoy a happy Lunar New Year ahead.
Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers are on their way to Da Nang Province. Setting off from Ho Chi Minh City, the volunteers spent 10 hours driving before arriving at the destination, which is over 400 kilometers away. Learning that the Tzu Chi volunteers are in their village, children excitedly greet them and clamor for sweets. Located at the border between Cambodia and Vietnam, Da Nang Province is the home to mostly minority groups who make a living through farming. Through the local Red Cross, Tzu Chi volunteers reach out to needy residents there, bringing them daily necessities to ensure a plentiful new year ahead.
With Tzu Chi's oil, I can make vegetable dishes. I can make some cakes from glutinous rice too.
I hope that Tzu Chi will help other people like us. The more people receiving such help, the better.
Another group of Tzu Chi volunteers also visited Nha Be District, a rural area near Ho Chi Minh City, to hold an aid distribution for senior residents. After receiving their aid supplies, the seniors go back home with joy and contentment in their hearts. Following the aid distribution in Nha Be District, the volunteers take a boat to Guizhou District, where they carried out another aid distribution.
I feel very happy to get these supplies because life is hard here. It's so nice to have these gifts ahead of the new year. This is a meaningful event.
It's hard to describe how I feel. I can only say that I feel happy and touched by what I was involved in.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's timely assistance, aid recipients, one and all, will be able to enjoy a happy Lunar New Year ahead.
Following days of torrential rain in Indonesia's Jakarta, severe flooding has forced many to evacuate to temporary shelters. Now, however, survivors are faced with the specter of illness and disease. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers and Tima Doctor held a free clinic to provide medical care for those in need.
At Tzu Chi's free clinic in Cengkareng of Jakarta, some 660 residents who were affected by the recent flooding show up in hopes of receiving medical attention.
We
gave them medicine because of their infections. Next, we will carry out health education because this area was flooded and the damp environment has led to the spreading of infectious disease. High medical cost means that a trip to the doctors is a luxury many can't afford. Sanima, who was suffering from an ache in her right knee, is finally receiving treatment with the help of the volunteers.
I want to recover and be as healthy as a normal person. Right now, I have difficulty in walking and I stay at home the whole day.
Suffering from the same condition is Nasia's child, whose ankles are both twisted. Though wanting her child to walk on her own, Nasia has been unable to pay for the surgery.
Please save my child. I really hope to receive Tzu Chi's assistance so that my baby will be as healthy as other children.
While in North Jakarta, Kasimini's 7-month-old daughter was born with cleft lip and is skinnier than children of the same age.
I really want her to go through with the surgery. At first, we didn't know cleft lip surgery was offered here. I originally brought her here for flu and cough symptoms.
Through a simple free clinic, Tzu Chi volunteers discovered many dark corners of society, but vowed to light up each one they come across.
In China's Guangdong Province, Dongguan Tzu Chi volunteers made a wish come true by giving 88-year-old Grandpa Ye's house a makeover. Without children, Grandpa and Grandpa Ye solely depended on one another for their livelihood. Thus, Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting the couple on a regular basis to shower them with love. Recently, as an early present for the Chinese New Year, volunteers asked builders to come and fix up the seniors' home.
To help fulfill Grandpa and Grandma Ye's wish of fixing up their home, Dongguan Tzu Chi volunteers recruited a professional home renovator to do the job. The funds for the renovation poured in from different sources, with even the head of the company handling the renovations, jumping in to help.
After he saw the house, he mentioned that if there were more cases like this one in the future, we should let him know and he will help out as much as he can.
The relay of love transformed moldy, bumpy walls into clean, level surfaces, while the ancient wooden window frames were replaced by the sturdy steel. Although the seniors are reluctant to get rid of their old bed, after testing out the new one the volunteers brought for them, Grandma Ye is all smiles. Tzu Chi's assistance has imbued the old house with a renewed sense of life. A week after the renovations were complete, volunteers paid the couple a visit and Grandma Ye could not stop talking about her new house.
It took 2 days of construction. The windows are done nicely.
Grandma Ye sings a Hakani song to show her appreciation for the house that has been bathed in Tzu Chi's love.
In Taoyuan, Taiwan, the Zhongli Tzu Chi Teachers Association, in collaboration with the Huashan Social Welfare Foundation, held a year-end banquet for nearby seniors. Volunteers prepared delicious dishes, while students of Longgang Junior High School helped feed the seniors.
Arriving at the venue, a grandpa is assisted out of the car by students and Tzu Chi volunteers. His wife is very grateful for this rare outing.
We want to go out for walks, but are often unable to. Today, with your help, we were finally able to leave the house. My husband was so looking forward to today that he could not sleep last night. I'm very grateful for your assistance.
Zhongli's Tzu Chi Teachers Association and the Huashan Social Welfare Foundation joined hands to invite the elderly for a banquet. In charge of kitchen duties, Tzu Chi volunteer Liao Yuefen recruited her mother to assist with the cooking of the many delicious dishes on the menu.
Seniors' teeth aren't as good, so all of our dishes are made to be softer and easily digestible.
To entertain the seniors, Tzu Chis perform a lion dance, while 100 Longgang Junior High students are on hand to volunteer their time as well.
I needed 100 volunteers, and the day I posted the request, it filled up.
Whatever dishes the grandpa wanted to eat, I would feed them to him. When he was full, he showed me his beautiful smile.
The volunteers' efforts filled the school gymnasium with a festive atmosphere, moving one senior to tears and another to serenade everybody with the song. The banquet ends on a perfect note as volunteers successfully warm the hearts of these seniors ahead of the Lunar New Year.
In Taiwan's New Taipei City, Mr. Jian is a filial son who has been spending his savings on taking care of his bedridden mother. However, things took a turn for the worse when he began suffering gout and was therefore unable to work. Upon learning of his condition, Tzu Chi volunteers not only took the man under their wing, but also helped clean up his home and brought furniture to celebrate the upcoming Chinese New Year.
To personally deliver their love to Tzu Chi care recipients, Mr. Jian, Tzu Chi volunteers first visit a furniture store to pick up a donated sofa. Next, they head to a recycling station to pick up a second-hand bed frame and a mattress before driving to the mountainous area of New Taipei City to Jian's home.
I'm really happy. You have cleaned my place so well, and for that I'm really happy.
Mr. Jian is known as a filial son in his community who has spent most of his savings taking care of his mother. However, Jian's life turned upside down after he was diagnosed with gout and was unable to work. Upon learning of his plight, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to help. The Chinese New Year is almost here, so if friends or relatives come here, they will feel the warmth of family. Finally having a comfortable bed, new bed sheets and winter clothing to keep warm, Mr. Jian's situation is a familiar one for volunteer Han, who used to be a Tzu Chi recipient himself.
I was once on the receiving end, and now to be able to give, I'm really delighted.
We helped clean up Han's place before. We are really grateful that he has a heart of gratitude and wants to reciprocate.
Neighbors and friends in the community gather inside Mr. Jian's newly furbished home, and the borrowhead also brings sweet glutinous rice bowl to celebrate a new beginning.
When volunteers couldn't come to visit Mr. Jian, they will always call to check up on him and see if he needs anything.
With a fresh look for the Chinese New Year, Mr. Jian is all smiles.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the poor in China's Guizhou Province for 14 years. Due to the province's mountainous terrain, most farmers cannot grow enough to support themselves. Even though Luodian County has seen quite a lot of development over the past couple of years, the rural farming communities are still full of families in need.
Streets filled with vehicles and people, Luodian County in China's Guizhou Province has seen speedy development over the past couple of years. However, the gap between urban and rural areas is also widening.
This is the most lively part of Luodian County, the Old Town. However, it is also just a 5-minute drive away from the rural area where farmers live. There, the scenery is completely different.
Away from the hustle and bustle, mountains as far as the eyes can see occupy 90% of the province. The terrain is not suitable for farming, yet over 60% of those who live here happen to be farmers.
Every so often, farmers bring their crops here to sell and trade so they can make some money. Hi, Grandma, what are you trying to sell? Fermented black soybeans? How much are they? $5 a catty? Did you grow and make them yourself?
5 renminbi is not even $1. Guizhou's farmers don't do very well at all. They rank the 6th from the bottom in terms of the nation's GDP per capita.
2/3 of people here have left to work outside. Those that remain behind are mostly seniors, women and children.
For 14 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have sent their love here. At every year's winter relief distribution, volunteers also make sure to carry out home visitations. Using their hands and feet to overcome the steep mountain paths, volunteers finally arrive at a home. Its owner is some 40-year-old Wang Xiupeng, who is a single mother of 2. There's no light and furniture inside. Clothes are scattered across the ground, and the walls are moldy. The family of 3 shares a single bed.
They have ruined the comforter completely. They use a razor to cut out the filling inside to play. I'm not letting them have these. I'm saving these for them to use when they grow up.
As her children are mischievous, Miss Wang is keeping the new comforters from Tzu Chi safe for special occasions. 71-year-old Wang Bangzong has 4 children, but 3 of them are disabled.
早上领的东西，你会高兴，高兴，高兴，说不出的心里话。
The family relies on meager government subsidies to survive. Even at his age, Mr. Wang still needs to grow crops to make ends meet.
My second son is also disabled. As their father, I don't have a choice.
With no other options, Mr. Wang grits his teeth and endures his hardship. There are thousands of farmers who share the same fate in Guizhou.
Guizhou is a mountainous province. Its picturesque landscape draws tourists, but also greatly restricts local residents' chances for making a better living.
For 14 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have gone the distance to support Guizhou's poor and needy. And in the days ahead, they will continue to carry on to ease the suffering of the people here.
This year, Tzu Chi's winter relief distribution in China's Guizhou was joined by some 30 volunteers from Taiwan. Among them was He Yuyun from Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital. Once on the receiving end, to be able to give meant a lot to her. Here's more.
At Tzu Chi's winter relief distribution in Guizhou, volunteers are busy at work.
Your hands are too dry. Let me rub some Vaseline on your hands.
Meticulously caring for seniors, He Yuyun hails from Taiwan's Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital.
As I served, I am also reminded of how difficult life was in Taiwan some 30 years ago. My family is from Puli. When we fell on hard times, when my father passed away 8 years ago, we were helped by Tzu Chi brothers and sisters too. We were on the receiving end. Now that I am able, I should give. When in college, I also relied on Tzu Chi scholarship.
Once on the receiving end, to be able to give means a lot to her. The trip would not have been possible without the support of her colleagues, family, and patients, so she cherishes it even more. Besides medical staff and professors from Taiwan, there are also those who just finished serving in the Philippines among the volunteers.
While carrying out disaster relief in the Philippines, I saw Typhoon Haiyan victims had nothing. What could we offer them? Material goods are limited, but love is infinite. So I think hope is the best gift.
The gift of love is infinite and crosses all boundaries. Loving embrace from recipients in return is the volunteers' greatest reward.
The construction of the new Jingsi Hall in Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur is nearly complete and will soon undergo a fire protection systems inspection. Thus, volunteers from the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter call upon their fellow counterparts to clean up the hall in preparation.
Picking up tools to clean, over 500 volunteers are preparing for a fire protection systems inspection at the soon-to-be-completed Kuala Lumpur Jingsi Hall.
There are no words to describe how we are feeling today cleaning up the dignified Jingsi Hall. We are excited beyond compare.
Originally, entrepreneur Su Feng was feeling ill and the wounds on her fingers have yet to heal. However, she was still determined to join in the cleanup.
When I woke up this morning, I was still feeling sick. Yet I said I am still going. When I arrived here, I didn't feel like I was ill at all. Instead, a feeling of Dharma joy came over me and I quickly finished the task at hand.
Also assisting in the cleanup are 50 Indian volunteers from the Tzu Chi Clan branch, who traveled an hour to get here.
I'm happy to help because I know the Jingsi Hall is built collectively by everyone.
The soon-to-be-completed Jingsi Hall in Kuala Lumpur will be the 4th Jingsi Hall in Malaysia, and this cultivation ground will sure blossom with everyone's blessings.
In the United States, students at the Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool of Walnut, Los Angeles prepare a line dance to celebrate the upcoming Lunar New Year. Meanwhile, the Tzu Chi Northern California chapter organized a year-end blessing ceremony in which 47 Tzu Chi volunteers became certified Tzu Chi commissioners.
Here at the Tzu Chi Northern California chapter, a year-end blessing ceremony is organized to celebrate the upcoming Lunar New Year. One of the highlights of the event is the certification of 16 board members and 47 Tzu Chi commissioners. Among them is Zhang Yahan, who feels blessed to be able to walk the Tzu Chi path with her mother.
I feel very lucky to be able to be certified with my mother. It was actually luck that we would be classmates. I think this is like once in a lifetime experience.
Receiving Tzu Chi's blessing and wisdom red envelopes, volunteer Zhang Hongyu and his wife vow to continue their efforts in the years to come.
Although working from sunrise to sunset is really exhausting, we are truly joyful after completing each volunteer task.
Also celebrating the upcoming New Year are the students of the Tzu Chi Grade Love Preschool in Walnut, Los Angeles, who prepared a lion dance to light up the atmosphere. The youngsters were also encouraged to bring their filled bamboo coin bags to donate.
The fact that we have a bamboo bag where they can actually put in a penny, a coin, whatever it is, it symbolizes that it's a visual symbolizations for the children, and for them to really see that there's more people other than themselves that they can help.
After being immersed in Tzu Chi, he has improved a lot. Back home, he will now often say thank you and sing the song Days of the Bamboo Coin Bag. He has become more outgoing too.
With a little creativity from parents and teachers, seeds of kindness can easily find a home in children's hearts.
Earlier in January, Southern California Tzu Chi volunteers decided to give a family in Idlewild a statue of the Enlightened One after the grandchild returned a stolen Buddhist statue to its rightful owner. The volunteers recently returned to Idlewild once again to present the family with a book of Jingzi aphorisms and a Chinese New Year lantern. Driving through Riverside County's Idlewild, Southern California, Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting local residents Catherine Grosney once again. As Chinese New Year is just around the corner, volunteers have thoughtfully prepared books of Jingzi aphorisms and a lantern as gifts. Earlier in January, Southern California Tzu Chi volunteers stumbled upon the news of a young man who has stolen a Buddhist statue from a local hotel to take as a Christmas gift for his grandmother. Thankfully, with the encouragement from his family, the young man returned the statue to its rightful owner. Touched by the hotel owner's willingness to forgive the boy and the family's honesty, the volunteers decided to give both a statue of the Buddha.
After when I drove him home, I said, I hope you learned a lesson from this. You do not lie, you do not cheat, you do not steal.
The volunteers' affinity with the family and the local inn was later featured in the local newspaper.
So they say the Strawberry Creek Buddha brings more blessing.
Brings more blessing. Isn't that a good story?
Yeah.
Receiving the New Year's gift and blessings from the volunteers, Catherine Grosney happily shows the volunteers where she has placed the statue.
If anybody were to ask me, what are you? What my philosophy is Buddhist, because it makes the most sense.
Meanwhile, the words of wisdom in the book of Jingzi aphorisms has deeply touched the heart of Grosney's son.
To shoulder a burden is an inspiring force. To admit a mistake is a noble virtue.
Before Tzu Chi volunteers' departure, the senior happily offers them her homemade apple jam and says she looks forward to the volunteers' next visit. We go back to China at the end of the show to prepare needy residents for the upcoming Chinese New Year. Other than holding winter aid distributions in Suzhou and Tianjin, Tzu Chi volunteers also thoughtfully visited those that couldn't make it to the distribution venues with relief items. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.